So guys, welcome back to the channel. Right here we have the Ijoy translucent wireless keyboard at Five Below. Now I did see it in multiple colors. I saw a white color and I did see a pink color. I think the pink looks a whole lot better. My wife picked this one out. Now it is battery powered. It requires two AAA batteries that you see right here. It does work on Mac and other operating systems. It won't work on Android necessarily unless you have some form of dongle, but by that point you'll be using Bluetooth. This is 2.4 gigahertz, so there is no Bluetooth whatsoever for this, so keep that in mind. In addition to that, you do have 82 keys. Right here it says it has a wireless distance about 32.8 feet, which is 10 meters. User face USB 2.0, so once you plug in, there's no software or anything. You just plug and play and it should work immediately. Again, two AAA batteries, not included, so I have my own. And that's pretty much it. It just goes to show you the softwares that it works for: ME 2000, XP, Vista, 7, 8, 9, 10. It worked for 11 also. I plugged it up to my laptop, which is Windows 11. It did work just fine. And lastly, it does work for Mac also. Now, with that being said, we're going to unbox this together, so stay tuned for that. Just going to put that intro in there and let's get right to this video and not waste any time whatsoever. So this does come with some instructions, but all it does is tell you how to plug in the USB, the dongle that it comes with. Don't worry, you know how to do that. I'll show you where it is. Now, the design is pretty nice for the most part. I do think that this is a pretty, I'm not gonna say it's super solid because it is pretty bendable. It's cheap plastic, it's only $10, so keep that in mind. But if you're using this on your desk on a regular basis, I don't see you having a problem. The only really negative, and there's two negatives if we're being honest here, is one, it's very hard to see these keys. Even at this angle, I'm recording with an S24FE on Ultra HD, and it just, you know, it's very hard to see the keys. They don't light up at all. The only thing that light up is right here, and this is the on button and the off switch. You just switch that left and right. Left for off, on for right for on. Now, if you flip it over, this is the most important part. The batteries are in the back right here. I placed mine inside. It doesn't come with batteries, so keep that in mind. You do have these little latches right here, which help your keyboard sit up a lot higher. In addition to that, if you keep the latch down with this USB in here, it's easy for safe travel. This isn't going to fall out. But of course, if you lift it up, then, you know, you're probably going to end up using this piece. So this does come out, of course. You plug it up into a USB. This is the 2.4 gigahertz dongle. There is no Bluetooth, so don't buy this thinking it's Bluetooth. It doesn't have it. And once you plug it in, you just turn this button on up top, and you can just type and you're pretty much good to go. The only other downside is trying to figure out how long the batteries actually last for this, which I'll do an update video for that. But it does take two AAA batteries, so keep that in mind. And believe it or not, let's do a kind of like a keyboard comparison in terms of size. This is the one that I took the batteries out of. And this guy has a full-blown, you know, and this is $30. So you got to keep in mind, this is a Microsoft product that's 30 bucks. It has volume control and everything that you need immediately right here, you know, mute and things like that. I like this keyboard. It's one of my favorite, to be exact. But this isn't bad for someone that's going to Five Below that wants something for $10. You may want a feminine keyboard with these type of colors. Again, it comes in clear also. But that's pretty much it. Now, when you tap the keys, they're not super clicky. They're not going to make a lot of noise, to be honest with you. I have tried this hooked up to my laptop a couple times. In addition to my Steam Deck, I had it hooked up to many different devices, and it worked pretty well for the most part. I haven't had any lag, like when I tap the option keys or something like that. Matter of fact, let me go into another section, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about to make it a little bit easier so you can see it in real time. So I decided to actually do this video a little bit differently in this section. So if you look right here, this is the function key down here. And you have your, what is this? Mute, volume up, volume down, fast forward, pause and play. All of these buttons, especially these buttons here, these are all the ones that I tested. Mainly everything from F1 to F8. I have tried a few other functions when you hit function and another button, and it works perfectly fine. You don't have to actually change anything yourself. It's going to automatically work. Now, for comparison reasons, I want to show you guys something. This right here, I forget which keyboard this is. This is the, is this an Atrix keyboard? Yeah, it's the Atrix GSK5, some stupid keyboard. Anyway, the point is that, I'm sorry. Let me plug this up real fast to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Some keyboards don't have the same functionality. So for example, wait for these to light up because it's easier to see because these keys actually light up. If you hit the You see how this doesn't have the function's all the way over here. So if you hit the function, if you hit one of these keys right here, this will be like brightness over here and stuff. And then you have like a bunch of different features in different settings. You have the back button right here, where if you hit the function along with it, it actually takes the volume away. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense. I was about to use a different word. It doesn't make any sense. And unfortunately, other keyboards require you to actually learn an entire layout all over again. Like for instance, who wants to hit function in G or H or anything like that? And that's volume up and volume down. Insert, delete is with M. And you know, I don't like that at all. Versus, let's go back to the original one that we were looking at right here. Not saying the quality of this is better. It's not, because when it comes to the clicks and whatnot, this does feel very, very cheap. It does feel spongy. It is quick to bounce right back, but you can definitely feel the lack of resistance when it comes to, it doesn't have any real springs like a real high-end keyboard. It's not high-end at all. But at least when you hit function and you hit F1 or F2 or F3 or any of these buttons that correspond with it, automatically it's going to work the way that it's actually intended. And I do like that. I do want to also say, because it has the power on and power off button, I already took the batteries out the back of it already, but because it has this power on and off button, you could just turn this off and just leave it as is. And the battery life for the most part did last for a little bit. Now the batteries didn't die. I've only been using this for about a total of a week so far, so I'm not too sure how long the batteries are going to last, especially if you're using a cheaper brand or off brand or anything like that. But again, for $10, this is not bad at all. It's just kind of hard to see based on the angle the lighting is on these keys, and that's a very unfortunate thing. If it had a backlight, I think that this would have been a pretty big seller at Five Below, but it still might be. You never know. But anyway, that's pretty much the review. Do I suggest this? Yes, to the people out there that want a 2.4 gigahertz what was I about to say, computer? What's it called? Keyboard. Yes, you do have the option. I want to also show you guys something else, so give me one moment. See if I still have it. Here we go. So here's another one. Now this one is from Bitech, and this is also 2.4 gigahertz. And I want to show you something. You probably saw this at Five Below before. This guy is also a Five Below, and you can see every single button the moment I brought this into view compared to looking at this one. And if I just turn it on an angle, you can't really see the buttons, or you can, it's translucent, whatever they call it. And it's not the most ideal thing. And when you hit the buttons here, you know, you have your function buttons, you have all the keys up here, they correspond the way it's supposed to, which is not a bad thing. And again, I'm not a huge fan of half keyboards, or this one has 82 keys, I forget how much this one has, but the point is these are both from Five Below. So if you're looking for something that looks better, in my opinion, in terms of are the keys easier to see, this might work a little bit better for you. And that's called the Honeycomb keyboard from Bitech, while this guy is entirely different, the Ijoy. Still not bad, though I will say that the white keys seem to be a lot easier to see when I took a look at the box, because they had a bunch of them open. People were looking through the keyboards. You're not supposed to do that, but thank God they did. That's why I got this color, and I guess I chose wrong. But now you can see how it looks, how shiny it is. Anyway, that's the review. Like and subscribe like always. $10, you won't go wrong. Worst case, take it back, hold on to your receipt. Best case, give it to somebody else, or just keep it for yourself. It is going to work. It's going to be responsive. If you're typing, it's going to work for you. I don't think you're going to have any missed keys. If you know how to type, you can use practically any keyboard. I'm not going to say that this is going to be easier to type for you speedy folk that could do 100 words per minute and all those things. But again, you have to test that yourself. Like and subscribe. Peace. I'll see you guys in the next video.